really trying to make this video short because the first one I did was about 24 minutes and nobody has time for that. Okay, before we even get started, my eyelashes may do their own thing. I'm still practicing my own makeup. So if they do their own thing, they're looking for attention, don't pay attention to them. I hope my nipples aren't showing. Hello everyone, sanibonani dumelang apsheni. Hello, annyeonghaseyo, molweni ninjani. My name is Pila, for those of you who don't know me. Thank you so much for joining me. Welcome back to my channel. So I recently got a question from someone on my Instagram. I think it was Utinzwan. She asked me if I would recommend traveling or living abroad, or do I think it's only for specific people? And I was like, of course, man, it's for everyone who wants to do it, but also you have to be a person who can adapt to challenges quickly. So this will be a video on the 10 things nobody tells you about living abroad. The good, the bad, and the ugly. It's more of the bad and the ugly, actually. So number one, the first thing, I think it's very obvious, and this is from personal experience, you will get lost or stranded. More especially, it happens to the best of us, especially when you're living in a country that does not speak English or whatever language you speak, like Korea, for example. I've been stranded once where trains were gone for the night, and I did not know that. I literally slept at the subway station. Yeah, so there will be times because I couldn't contact anyone, I couldn't call anyone, and I have a friend, Pelo, hi Peshi J, who actually once fell asleep in a train, and she ended up in a country that was like almost on the border of, not New York, the border of South Korea. So it happens, guys. It's part of traveling. You will get lost, you will get stranded, and it's fine. Just make the most of it and make sure you're always safe. Number two, you are alone and you need to grow. For example, you will need to be independent because your mom is not there anymore to cook dinner before you come home, if that's what you're used to, or your boyfriend is not there. You don't have people who can come bail you out of jail because you're alone, and you need to grow mentally, emotionally. You will need to grow. So you are on your own. You need to realize that. And also, especially when you're at the airports, I think this is something other people aren't really very aware of, because whenever you're traveling, you're very excited, but you also need to realize that things happen in airports. People slip things into your bag, and now you're getting busted for drugs or whatever, and people take your bags. The point is, there's nobody there. Your mom's not there to look after your bags, or your brother's not there to look after your bags if you're busy doing this and this and this. So you are on your own. Keep that in mind. Grow however you need to grow. I guess it depends on who you are, but again, all of these are from personal experience. Number three is you will never quite feel at home. You'll meet people, amazing people, who will make you feel at home, who will be very accommodating and hospitable, who go out of their way to make sure that you feel at home. But unfortunately, it'll never really feel like home, and that's fine. Like you need to accept that. The moment you accept that, then it's number four. This is okay. Now it's gonna start being ill. Okay, so you experience a lot of culture shock or frustration caused from things that are induced by culture shock. Firstly, if you're moving to a place with a different language, I advise that you learn the language, or you at least learn the basics before you get to a place. Get clued up about the place, learn the basics, or at least learn like the certain traditions and customs. So you will experience culture shock. It's going to lead to frustration. There'll be times when you need one simple thing, you can't get it because you can't speak the language, or you don't know how they do things in whatever specific country. But like if I wore this in South Korea, because you're not supposed to show your shoulders because it's looked down upon. So if I wore this in South Korea, I'd have people looking at me like, or like it's very little things, and then you start feeling uncomfortable and you don't know why, but that's because of culture shock and not being prepared to be in another country. You will need to make friends, but actively. So there's no more of this thing of knowing that, okay, of course, this is my crew, they're probably going to introduce me to other people if I need to. Nope. In order for you to make friends, you need to actively walk up to people, strike a conversation, and ask for people's numbers and ask for people's Instagram handles and all these other things. And I know if you're a person who's socially awkward or a person who has social anxiety, that can be overwhelming. But it's something that you will need to get yourself used to, or you will have to train your mind to be fine with. And granted, yes, there's apps that you can meet people, but half the time, yeah, those apps are dangerous and creepy, like I said. Yeah. I think I did mention that you will get lonely part and how you'll end up on Tinder, like I did, unfortunately. And then this is where it gets very sucky. So I think this is number five, and number five is that, or number six. You will miss huge milestones back home. My family is very big on celebrating things, and I think since I left the country, since I left South Africa about 3 years ago, I've missed at least 3, 4 weddings. I've missed graduation parties and ceremonies. I've unfortunately had people pass on, and I couldn't go, like I couldn't go pay my last respects, because when you're in another country you have contracts that you're signed into that you can't just break. The rules are different. You can't just take compassionate leave and then go if the person's not close enough. And there's also visa rules or policies that you need to look into before you can just jump on the plane and leave the country. So unfortunately, when you decide to go live abroad, be aware of the fact that you could miss milestones, like huge milestones, people giving birth, people having babies. I have friends who've given birth. Oh, Songi. Like, and I have friends who got married. One of my best friends recently got married, and I couldn't even be there. And unfortunately, I guess it's the life I chose. Number six, you will lose friends, unfortunately. But also things like distance make nurturing friendships harder than they really are, because one, you're not working on the same time zone, so you could literally be sleeping when they're busy meeting up, or they could be sleeping when you're at work, or when you're free they're at work and whatnot, and that's hard. Two, calls are so expensive. Firstly, you can't always rely on WhatsApp and all these other things what's this apps, yeah, all these apps. You can't always rely on them, and making international calls is so expensive, and sometimes that may also add pressure to your relationships, your romantic relationships. And unfortunately, yeah, not always though, not everyone is the same. Remember, not everyone's the same, so you will have to adjust to weather conditions, and your taste buds will also probably have to adjust. I did a poll or questions on my Instagram. I always knew South Africa has amazing food. Like, we are really exceptional when it comes to food and seasoning and flavor, like, and the warmth of food. And I've come to realize that, having traveled like in all the countries that I've been to, the food may be bigger, it may look prettier, or it may look more enticing, but when you taste it, it's just not the same. And you will miss South African food for the rest of your life. Number two, the weather part. Oh my god. With my first snow, I was wearing a leather jacket. You guys, what the hell? I was wearing a leather jacket and I froze my butt to tears. Like Nalila, because it was that cold. And also, South Africa is a country where when it's hot, at least there's always like a nice breeze, like a nice cold breeze to keep you cool. Other countries get so humid. I don't understand. Like, it will get scorching hot and then it'll be humid. There's like no breeze, nothing helping you. So, and your body has to adjust to all of these, because you still need to do your job, or you still need to go to school, or you still need to do whatever you're there to do, but you must just adapt to the extreme weather conditions. You will get lonely, and unfortunately, yeah, like I said, when you travel, you're on your own in the first place, and you will end up on Tinder. Yeah, it happens. But yeah, guys, will get to you, and at some point you'll probably end up on Tinder. It's useless. Like, don't, Z creeps, don't do it. I actually adopted a dog when I got really, I named her Chloe. Well, that was her name. It was Chloe. Yeah, but that was an amazing experience. But anyway, so you will get lonely because you're living alone, or you're in a country where everyone else is so different, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Actually, it's not necessarily a bad thing. And yeah, just adopt a dog. Go out as often as you possibly can and talk to people. Talk to people. And the very last thing that nobody tells you about living abroad is that you will survive. All of these things that I have mentioned are challenges, or they're negatives. And I think I should actually do a positive, like a video on all the positives of living abroad. Yeah, you will survive. You will go through challenges as you do in your own home country, or in any other place that you decide to live in. And the thing is, if you're determined to, you will survive. I think it's the best experience you will ever have. It broadens your mind. Like everybody says, it's really true. Your perspectives on things change. Like you meet amazing people. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you liked it, please give me a huge thumbs up, and even if you didn't like it, just give me a thumbs up, guys. Come on. And then please subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. I have more content. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comment section. If you have any comments of your own, if you want to share please, actually, guys, tell me the things that you have experienced that you feel like people should have warned you about, that you want to be warned about for when you go abroad. I truly appreciate you, and please don't forget to share. Like I say, bye.